Welcome, everyone. This is In the News. I know we haven't done this in quite a long time, but let me make sure my audio is good to go. All right, my audio is good to go. So, there's a lot going on in the news today. So, hopefully, we'll be doing this every Friday around 4 o'clock ish, maybe in the afternoon ish, to bring everybody up to date because there is a lot going on. So, let's just hit this In the News intro. All right, so in the news, a lot going on here, family. Let's start off with the first story here. We have our good sister here, Erin Jackson. All right. So, Erin Jackson is a speed skater. She was picked as the U.S. flag bearer for the Winter Olympics. Erin Jackson is the first Black woman to win an individual Winter Olympics gold, and she will represent the U.S. as a flag bearer at the Milan Cortina Games in speed skating. So shout out to her. I usually don't watch the Winter Olympics a lot, but I think this year it's going to be, some more Black Americans involved in this Winter Olympics. So I think we should definitely be checking that out. All right, let's go to the next one. Our good sister, Sha'Carri Richardson, unfortunately got into a little bit of trouble. Body cam footage was released on Sha'Carri Richardson. Let's get it right. She's an Olympic gold medalist and world track champion. Was unfortunately cited and arrested for excessive speeding, allegedly driving 104 miles per hour in a 65 meter zone. During the citation, Richardson's boyfriend, Christensen Coleman, who's also a track runner, and he's a four-time world championship sprinter, pulled up and confronted the officer. Coleman was subsequently arrested for resisting arrest, and officers found what appeared to be, quote, glass smoking device, end quote, in his Jeep. Both have since been released on bail. Richardson will be due in court later this month. So we definitely need to wish our good sister, Sha'Carri Richardson, safe in these upcoming proceedings and court case with her. All right, speaking about the Olympics, so making history once again. All right, Laila Edwards is making history with Team USA in 2026 Olympics in the hockey. Laila Edwards is a 6'1" senior forward for Wisconsin, has 2 national collegiate championships, and has helped Team USA win 2 world championship medals. At age 22, she is a rising star who already is on track to become one of the faces of hockey in the United States. She will be the first Black American woman to participate on the USA hockey team. Go USA. Shout out to Laila Edwards, and good luck to her and the US hockey team in the upcoming Winter Olympics. All right, also in the news, we have, let's see if I got this right here. Detroit judge embezzles $300,000 from the city's poor. Judge Andrea Brayley Baskin is accused of stealing $300,000 from, let's see, what is this? Incapacitated wards to fund a bar investment in a luxury car lease. Under conspiracy and as co-defendants, her father, Avery Brayley, fiduciary agency owner Nancy Williams, and group home operator Dwight Rashad are charged with wire fraud and money laundering, family, allegedly diverting funds meant for the wards. Currently, Judge Bradley Baskin has been removed from her docket and faces charges of giving misinformation to federal agents. So yes, family, there is a lot of fraud going on, including this young lady. All right, so let's see. Her name is, and please forgive me if I mispronounce it, but it's spelled Gokceguven. So I believe it's Goiki Guven. Hopefully, I'm close. Anyway, she is a tech entrepreneur who is named in Forbes 30 under 30 list, and she currently faces a threat of 52 years in prison after being charged with fraud. She has been accused of cheating investors out of $7 million by lying about her 2022 fintech financial tech startup. Galore, as prosecutors allege, she made material representations about the company's financials, brand partners, and customers. It is also claimed that Mrs. Guvin, a Turkish citizen, forged documents to obtain a 01A visa to live and work in the United States. This is typically reserved for individuals with, quote, extraordinary ability, end quote. The startup, which uses the slogan, turn your rewards into revenue, offers to help companies launch rewards schemes on their own website or app. It claimed to have 28 clients, including upmarket chocolatier Godiva, an airline trade body, IATA. IATA. Yep, that's right. Galore secured 11 million of funding at a valuation of $30 million last year, hailing revenues of 1.5 million. So, yep, a lot of fraud going on with there, fam. All right. Let's see what is next in the news here. We have an unfortunate situation with an ex-NFL player, Kevin Johnson. So let's look into this one. Ex-NFL player Kevin Johnson's unaliving was at an LA encampment and may be linked to 3 other slayings, officials say. The stabbing death of former NFL player Kevin Johnson may be connected to 3 other unalivings involving homeless people in the same area of Los Angeles County, officials said Tuesday. Johnson, at 55, was found January 21st at a homeless encampment along a food control channel in Willowbrook area of South Los Angeles, suffering from what the sheriff's department described as head trauma. Johnson was pronounced unalived at the scene by responding county paramedics, the sheriff's department said. On Tuesday night, the department said 3 other homeless people have been unalived in the area along East 120th Street on the southwestern edge of the Willowbrook community, all at homeless encampments along the same channel. The homicides took place between October 2025 and January 2026, the department said in a statement, and all remain unsolved. So, may that brother rest in peace, and may the others who unfortunately had their untimely demise, may they rest in peace as well. All right, so let's actually turn into something, I guess, a little bit more positive. There is a movie out called Relationship Goals. All right, by the way, if you haven't checked out Speaking of Relationships, my Mr. Uncomfortable channel, that's Mr. Uncomfortable Truth. Go check that out there as well on some relationship stuff. But anyway, let's continue. So Kelly Rowland and Cliff Method Man Smith hope their new movie opens the door for more black rom-coms, which is romantic comedies. In Relationship Goals, Kelly Rowland and Cliff Method Man Smith play execs and TV news producers competing for the same job, blending romance, friendship, faith, and work-life balance. The film adapts Pastor Michael Todd's book and aims to bring hope, promote black rom-coms, and attract a diverse audience, highlighting universal relationship themes. It's available now on streaming. As a matter of fact, I think everybody, if you got Amazon, which by the way, you can support ETM Media Group, should be down somewhere on the link if you go shopping at Amazon. Support us there using the affiliate link. But I believe it's available right now on Amazon. So I know it's Super Bowl Sunday, and I know some of y'all gonna watch Bad Bunny and so forth. But hey, if you want something alternative to watch, or in addition to the Super Bowl, maybe before or after, go check out Relationship Goals. I haven't seen it yet. We actually might do a review on it. But yeah. So anyway, speaking of documentaries, Melania, First Lady. Melania 2026 is one of the 5 worst reviewed movies in IMDb history. Amazon MGM Studios reportedly invested $40 million for the polished documentary, accompanied by a marketing budget of approximately $35 million. The marketing expenditure is especially striking, aligning with the type of budget a studio typically allocates to a modest feature film, rather than a documentary. It's been rumored that there was 1 ticket sold in a theater out in the UK, but that may or may not be true, family. I don't know, but that is rumored that this sold a whopping 1 ticket at one point in time. Now, according to my research, obviously that same theater actually might have sold more than 1 ticket. But I know at one point it was rumored that only 1 ticket was sold out in the UK. But so far, the documentary allegedly has sold $7 million at the domestic box office during its opening weekend. So, it's creeping up there. I don't know if it's going to actually make its return on investment, but hey, never know. Okay, so what else is going on in the news? So, indictment of Judge Rosie Speedlin Gonzalez gets spotlight at Commissioner's Court meeting. Judge Rosie Speedlin Gonzalez at Bexar County Court, and that's in Texas. She's at law judge, was indicted on January 29, 2026, after an incident that occurred in December 2024 during a hearing regarding a motion to revoke probation. She reportedly ordered defense attorney Elizabeth Russell to be handcuffed and placed in the jury box after a dispute escalated over courtroom procedures. The charges against her include unlawful restraint by a judicial officer, a felony, and official oppression, a misdemeanor. The incident began when Russell attempted to confer with her client during the hearing. After the defendant pleaded true to allegations against him, Russell interjected to clarify his plea. Judge Speedlin Gonzalez, who's pictured on the screen there, it looks like she admonished Russell for being argumentative and ultimately ordered her to be restrained, claiming that attorneys were not allowed to coach their clients. This led to the judge allegedly interfering with Russell's liberty, which is central to the charges against her. Following the indictment, Judge Speedlin Gonzalez turned herself in and made her initial court appearance. Her bond was set at $20,000. The Bexar County District Attorney's Office recused itself from the case due to a conflict of interest, and Special Prosecutor Brian Cromins was appointed to handle the prosecution. This case has garnered significant attention due to the rarity of a sitting judge facing criminal charges. Speedlin Gonzalez has denied any wrongdoing and intends to defend herself vigorously. The incident raises questions about judicial conduct and the boundaries of authority within the courtroom, prompting discussions among legal professionals and the public alike. All right, so Trump border czar is pulling 700 immigration officers out of Minnesota immediately. The Trump administration is reducing the number of immigration officers in Minnesota, but will continue its enforcement operation that has sparked weeks of tensions and deadly confrontations, border czar Tom Homan said Wednesday. About 700 federal officers, roughly a quarter of the total deployed to Minnesota, will be withdrawn immediately after state and local officials agreed over the past week to cooperate by turning over arrested immigrants, Homan said. But he did not provide a timeline for when the administration might end the operation that has become a flashpoint in the debate over President Donald Trump's mass deportation efforts since the fatal shootings of U.S. citizens Renee Good and Alex Pretty in Minneapolis. About 2,000 officers will remain in the state after the week's drawn down, Homan said. That's roughly the same number sent to Minnesota in early January when the surge ramped up, kicking off what the Department of Homeland Security called its largest immigration enforcement operation ever. All right, so let's switch it up to Seattle. Unfortunately, this is a somewhat sad news and situation, but may the young brother rest in peace and power. Seattle is to pay $30 million for teen death in anti-cop zone because ambulances wouldn't go there. The city of Seattle has been ordered to dole out $30 million to the dad of a teen who died from a gunshot wound inside a Black Lives Matter occupation zone in 2020 after first responders refused to enter the protest area. The city of Seattle was found liable by a jury for botching its emergency response to the still uninvolved or unsolved shooting of Antonio Mays Jr., 16, on January 29th inside the Capitol Hill organized protest known as CHOP Zone, a movement that was established in response to George Floyd's death at the hands of cops in Minneapolis, Minnesota 2 weeks earlier. The verdict came after an unusual long 12 days of deliberations by the 12-person jury, which only needed 10 to agree rather than a unanimous decision. Civil cases only require jurors to find claims were proven by the preponderance of evidence, or over 50% probability, unlike a criminal case, which requires jurors to find guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Mays was shot in a stolen white Jeep alongside a 14-year-old who was also shot but survived the ordeal. Armed protesters allegedly fired the shots, but no criminal charges were ever brought against anyone. The teen left a note for his dad at their Southern California home, telling the father he was joining the BLM movement to make him proud, but he didn't say where he was going. Mays Sr. filed a missing person report that day, 10 days before his son got unalive 2 states away. May that young brother rest in power. May rest in peace. Now, this one is a very interesting story. Florida couple in embryo mix-up looking for baby's biological parents. A couple is suing a Florida fertility clinic after they were implanted with the wrong embryo and asking for help locating their daughter's biological parents. Tiffany Score and Stephen Mills made a social media post asking for prayers as they navigate this deeply confusing and painful time with their daughter Shea, born December 11th. They also expressed unbearable fear that their daughter might be taken from them at any time. I have a million things I want to say and so many emotions I wish I could share, but for now, this is what we are able to tell you. Due to a medical error, the wrong embryo implanted by the doctor, Shea is not genetically related to either Steve or me, Score wrote. While we are profoundly grateful to have Shea in our lives and love her immeasurably, we also recognize that we have a moral obligation to find her genetic parent. So obviously, you can see, I guess, 2 people who might claim to look white, and that young, beautiful lady is definitely a black child. So there you go. Good luck with that family. I hope everything works out for them and that young lady. All right. See what else is going on. All right. Let's see if I got this one right here. All right, let's go on to here we go. ICE says former Des Moines superintendent pleaded guilty in citizenship fraud cause. Andre Roberts, originally from Guyana, pleaded guilty to falsely claiming U.S. citizenship on employment paperwork and being an illegal immigrant in possession of firearms. The firearm violations were at his arrest. Roberts had a loaded handgun in his car and 3 additional firearms at home. Federal law prohibits illegal immigrants from owning guns. Employment and immigration impact is Roberts held a high profile superintendent role while living illegally in the United States, leading to his resignation, revocation of his state license, and potential deportation after sentencing. All right. So speaking of deportations or another possible deportation story, Georgia Army veteran faces deportation after 50 years in the United States. Let's see here. An Army veteran from Covington, Georgia, who has lived in the United States for more than 50 years, faces imminent deportation. Godfrey Wade, a Jamaican-born veteran, has been in the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE custody for nearly 5 months. His attorney says an emergency stay of removal was denied, but an appeal is pending. So it looks like that brother from Jamaica, unfortunately, could be out of here. So, I wish his family all the good luck. But wow, veteran for 50 years, huh? All right, what else is going on in this news? Let's see here. All right, I think I got this story up. Let's see here. Okay, that's a Florida Embro. Okay, so we have an indictment, I believe, no, that's not it. That's Detroit. Sorry, family. I thought I had this story here because I know it is on this congresswoman. I know she pled guilty somewhere in Florida. All right, here we go. Florida Representative Sheila Sherfilis McCormick. So my Florida family, you guys might know about this story. Florida Representative Sheila Sherfilis McCormick has pleaded not guilty to federal charges alleging she and her brother stole a $5 million overpayment of pandemic disaster funds. Prosecutors say the money intended for pandemic services was diverted to her 2021 congressional campaign and personal expenses, including an expensive diamond ring. The case now is set for trial in April, runs alongside a Rare Public Housing Ethics Committee hearing on related misconduct allegations. All right, let's see what else we have here. All right. Man, I gotta put this sister up real quick before we move on to the next story. I thought I had this slide up, but I guess I didn't. Here, let me see. Man, I apologize about this, family, but I have to get this story in because it's really important, because his sister, she unfortunately passed away. Here it is. Okay. Nope, that's not it. Where is the sister? I know I had it. Okay, maybe I have to pull it up later. All right, let me just keep going here. All right, so that's odd. Anyway, the Fifth Dimension co-founder Lamont McLemore has transitioned at age 90. All right, so our good brother has transitioned. So let me pull that story up for us. Got a couple more and we will be out of here. The co-founder of the Grammy-winning soul pop group The Fifth Dimension, known for his It's Like Up, Up, Up and Away and Aquarius, Let the Sun Shine In, earning multiple Grammys, gold albums, and platinum singles. He is remembered for his cheerfulness, humor, and close bonds with bandmates, described as um, more like family than colleagues. Mr. Lamont McLemore served in the Navy as an aerial photographer, pursued baseball, worked as a professional photographer, and co-authored his autobiography From Hobo Flats to the Fifth Dimension. May his legacy live on. All right. And we have the legendary and funk rock pioneer William Billy Bass Nelson. William Billy Bass Nelson was a legendary bassist and founding member of Parliament Funkadelic. He is unfortunately is now an ancestor and passed away at the age of 75. Nelson's death was confirmed by George Clinton's Facebook account, which stated, "Rest in eternal peace in funk." Nelson was known for his significant contributions to the band's transition to funk and his role in shaping iconic recordings. He was born on January 28, 1951, and had a career that spanned several decades, including his induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997. His passing has been mourned by fans and fellow musicians alike, who celebrate his enduring influence on the genre of funk rock. All right, family. So I gotta find this sister's information here, and then we will wrap it up here. Let's see, because I thought I did the story on a good sister Shirley Raines, but it looks like for some reason. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen here, and then we will let's see here. Because yeah, this was an unfortunate situation, because the sister had. Let's see if I can remove this here. All right. So for those that don't know, Shirley Raines, she was heavily involved, especially here in Los Angeles on death row, with feeding people, feeding the homeless. So shout out to our good sister Shirley Raines. Shirley Raines, a nonprofit founder of Beauty to the Streets, who dedicated her life to caring for people experiencing homelessness. She's now an ancestor. So far, there is no official cause of death. So may her legacy live on, and definitely want to make sure that we give condolences to her and her family and her friends and everybody that knew her. So may she definitely rest in power. May she rest in peace. And may her legacy live on. All right, family. So there was a lot of fraud and deportation. We're trying to kind of truncate this in the news. There's actually a lot more to go on, but we're going to try to wrap these stories up. I know last time we used to go like an hour or so, but we're going to try to get this done within at least 20 minutes to half an hour if possible. But we do know that it is Black History Month. So I definitely want to wish everybody a wonderful Black History Month. And so don't forget to celebrate and commemorate our rich Black history during this month, and actually, as a matter of fact, pretty much all year long. And stay tuned right here on Amen the Mass Media Group. And shout out to our good brother, Black Magic Mike, out there in Oklahoma, holding it down. Tulsa. Oh, by the way, if you guys haven't been watching our Black History Month shorts, definitely check those out as well. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. I think we're posting in one each day. This theme this year is dedicated to Black townships, riots, if you want to call them that, or massacres, etc. So that's what we're focusing on this year. So that's kind of the theme. I know we're learning a lot. There's some things we knew. I know one, I think Kim did one about Allensworth, and I think Darlene did one about Colfax down there in New Orleans, I believe it is, which I had no idea about Colfax. So shout out to Darlene for doing that one. So anyway, family, Yes, thank you, Black Magic, and all you do, brother, for coming through and spreading the word. We obviously appreciate you and everything that you do. All right, that's it for In the News. You guys have a wonderful weekend, even if you guys decide to watch the Super Bowl. And I hope you guys are up on your Spanish because allegedly this dude named Bad Bunny, which unfortunately, uh, you know, I've never heard of his music, any of his music, but hey, I guess he's popular. And so the Super Bowl can do whatever they want to do. But shout out to Kendrick Lamar last year. He was definitely holding it down, family. With They Not Like Us and the whole nine. I think he really did a phenomenal job. I don't know how easy it's going to be to follow up with a Kendrick Lamar performance, but hey, we'll see. All right, everybody, take care of yourself. That's In the News, and as always, we will see you next time. Peace and reparations.